Well, it's always a joy to talk about Babuji Maharaj. I had the fortune of starting this practice sometime in August, 12th August 1976. And I had to wait very long time. The summer of 1977, during my college holidays, took up a train and went to Shahjahanpur with my friend. There were two of us, and perhaps that was my first out of Gujarat visit. Reaching Shahjahanpur railway station, when we are wearing these badges, the cycle, paddle rickshaw people, they recognize that, yes, you are going to see Babuji Maharaj. So immediately they say, sir, we'll take you straight to ashram, but will not take you to Babuji's house. I say, I'm not asking you, kind of a thing, but nearing his house, he said, यहाँ पे बाबूजी महाराज रहते हैं, but हम आश्रम जाएंगे क्योंकि रात को उनके घर जाना मना है. बोला, ठीक है, नहीं जाएंगे. तो सुबह हुई, तैयार होके चले गए. 9 बजे थे सुबह के, और बाबूजी महाराज नहा धो के तैयार बैठे थे. परफेक्ट वाइट ड्रेस, वाइट बनियान एंड वाइट धोती. He was sitting in his usual room, called Lalaji's room, and behind whom there is a window looking towards the outside street. He would sit and say, "Abhi hum puja karenge." ठीक है, तो we just sat down around him. There were hardly 6-7 of us. He said, that's all, and we were asked to go back to ashram. So there was no interaction except this beautiful sitting with him. The next day, same thing. We came in the morning, sat with him, and went back to ashram. Third day was evening time. We had to leave Babuji Maharaj. Morning we could not visit because we were told today Babuji is not well and he likes to be excused. So that was it. In the evening before leaving back for Gujarat, we wanted to offer prasad. So on the way to the train station, we stopped by. It was around 8:45 or 9 o'clock, around this time. He was surrounded by few elders, about 2 or 3 elders, not many. And one of them was Gunde Raoji, and so many of you are familiar with this person, Gunde Rao. So when he noticed that we two were present, we remained at a distance, almost 15-20 feet away from these elders, not to disturb them. We just sat on a charpoy and just relaxed. So one elderly person came. He said, "क्या चाहते हो?" मैंने बोला, "ये प्रसाद करना है." So I gave him the prasad, and Babuji orders Gunde Rao, offer it to Lalaji Maharaj and bring it back. So that's how the prasad was offered. We received it via another person. And then he conveys the message via same elderly person that tell that young boy to take butter. The tablets he is taking, medicine he is taking with butter. We had no conversation at all about my medicines or things like that. Then you don't expect a young person on medicines, you see. But it was amazing to see Babuji telling this elderly person. His name was Prabhudas from South Gujarat. Very elderly, I would say, who was already then 75 plus. almost the same age as Babuji, perhaps 2-3 years younger. At that time, it didn't make any sense to me why he's telling me to take that particular medicine with butter. I was taking 2-3 stuffs at that time, some Ayurvedic herbs and a griseofulvin. And I came to know about griseofulvin, if taken with butter, it increases its bioavailability. So blood circulation में ज़्यादा आता है. Otherwise, 80-90% will go out unabsorbed in your bloodstream. Okay. So the need to take it with butter or some fatty substances, which I came to know only in 1982 or so. But this episode was 1977. So he was much ahead of the science, actually. That was all. But leaving him was choking me from inside. I was crying and crying and crying for no reason. But the reason was quite obvious, that missing this giant, spiritual giant. I felt kind of disillusioned at that moment and so sad. You cannot imagine. Moment we took say bye to him and started reaching out to the railway station, the tears started and didn't stop till Delhi. Overnight, all night through I was crying in that, coach, railway coach. Then somehow it subsided because of these activities. Now we have to change the train and then coming back to Ahmedabad. So that had a very deep impact on me on a spiritual level, say. The imprints of those moments is very deep, very deep. Something that he did, I don't know how many lives we needed to digest such a spiritual wealth. So you could see the beauty, sensitivity of Babuji Maharaj, the quiet work that he performed on us was amazing. I mean, just cannot explain. And I had no complaint whatsoever that he did not talk directly. No, it was not necessary that a person of that caliber should directly talk to you. So it's best to keep quiet and absorb what he is trying to give us. I do know that Babuji wished that whenever they came to Shahjahanpur, to the ashram, they should acknowledge their presence and leave with acknowledgement. That does not mean that you have to meet Babuji Maharaj physically. No. He seated somewhere. To namaskaram, that's all from a distance. And even this is not necessary. I share with you another example that was perhaps in my 3rd or 4th visit to Babuji Maharaj. Prema Ben had given me and another lady called Viru Ben Patel from Ahmedabad. She used to send few things now and then to whoever went to Babuji Maharaj. So she had sent some ghee and some achar, pickles. Not that Babuji was fond of pickles, but it is for the guests who came to his house, and how much Babuji can supply. So a lot of Abhyasis gave things like pickles and things like that, ghee. So I was carrying these 2 pots in my hand, with the handle, aluminum handle on my... And Babuji was sitting in a chair there. I couldn't do namaste because these 2 pots were in my hands, you see. But with my heart, I bowed down, and it was, he noticed I was entering the main gate and he was sitting in his usual chair in the veranda. He almost got up halfway through and did like this. And I did not even move my hands. But my heart was melting with so much of supplication, and love, that I bowed with my heart. And that was enough. He acknowledged it. Halfway through he got up like this. Then I had to put my pots down and then stand and do namaskaram from a distance. But he was the one who acknowledged the invisible reverence that we shower on him, see. And that is worth imbibing, worth seeing. You know, there are things in our lives where you spend hardly 2 minutes or 3 minutes with such personalities, but it has a lifelong impact on you. While there are other contradictory things also, where you spend years and years with some friends and, so-called friends and relatives, but they have no impact on your life. But personalities of that height, those heights, they make permanent impact on your heart in such a way that you can never forget them. Your head bows down with a lot of reverence and love. Then you start automatically belonging to such a person, see? Automatically. See? You don't have to try hard and say, oh, he's my master. That is too much of an ego. I am his. That's a better attitude. In normal conversations, we may say, okay, my master, etc. But our attitude should be, you see, I belong to my master. So it's a big difference in attitude, see. I belong to this mission. I belong to this master. That is enough. That in itself is a big pride, you can say. We all should be proud of that. I belong to. So whosoever met Babuji Maharaj, I think they became permanently his. That was his magic, see. How he did, I don't know.